My name is Rhapsody, his name is Lollash, and welcome back to How to Beat Slay the Spire.
Hi, Rhapsody.
Alright, Lollash. Hey, Lollash. I really want that early shot.
Yeah, we definitely
Because if it has kunai or shuriken, I'm going to shit my pants.
See, kunai and shuriken are better when you can spam attacks. Gaining 1 strength or 1 dex a turn is not huge. I think there's some better options.
Double tap.
We do.
We have double tap and clash.
There are some things that I would prefer to see. I would love to see...
Okay, Ornamental Fan is one of them. Good.
Yeah, Ornamental Fan, Plated Armor.
I don't know if I've ever seen Plated Armor in a store.
It happens. Thread and Needle is definitely in a store. So this is probably double tap Hemokinesis Strike.
So, it's worth noting, we do 50% damage to them. Hemokinesis does 18, so we'll do 9. So we'll do 18 with the double tapped Hemokinesis. And then a strike will deal 3. So it's not even going to kill one, it'll just put it on the ground. So if we're putting something on the ground, why are we using Hemokinesis?
I suppose you could just double tap Strike.
It's like you don't need to lose 4 HP.
There is the argument that a basic strike, like if we do this, we knock this guy down to 5 HP, and a basic strike wraps him up. Because he's on the ground, and he has 5 HP left.
Sure, but he does 3 damage next turn when he's on the ground, and then he's stunned for a turn while he tries to get back up. So usually what I try and do is anyone that's trying to buff themselves, get the fuck on the ground right now, you stay down. And everyone else I kind of just ignore and then put them on the ground when they try and buff themselves. So we don't have any AoE in this deck, which is going to be super apparent for a very long period of time.
Yeah, we need to find a whirlwind. Maybe there's a whirlwind in the shop, Rhapsody.
Whirlwind double tap is always good.
So double tap strike, remove the bash guy, remove the buffing guy, take 10.
Yep. We also need to upgrade that double tap as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's the first upgrade target, for sure. So this is play all the defensive cards, or actually it's probably, no, it is play all the defensive cards so that we can clash, right?
Yep. And at this rate, I mean, Clash is not a ridiculous amount of damage to the ones that are negating 50%, so we'll just kill the bottom target.
I feel
it does waste a lot of damage,
yeah,
but yeah, it's still more efficient than not killing one.
Feels bad, man.
Extremely.
So I think we
double tap strike on the target that's about to hit you, and then strike him again. Yeah. This
is not a good fight for this deck. I'm really glad we don't have like Philo Stone or something horrible like that. So this is defend, body slam, strike, clash.
I mean, we always clash. Yeah, we can just put him on the ground with the body slam, strike, clash. Yeah, I'm behind that.
Which I think is the better play, because then they're both on the ground, we take no damage, and we can probably kill them both next turn with clashes.
This is the same outlay of the kind of plan that I was talking about before.
Yep.
Put them on the ground when it's necessary. Ooh! Okay, can I make the argument for why we need Blood for Blood more than Metallicize?
Blood for Blood is a great offensive card, but do we need...
It's gonna be 0 cost!
I know, it's like having
and it's upgraded!
So here's the thing, Rhapsody.
And we're incentivized to take more damage. We're incentivized to pick up more Hemokinesis, more Brutality, more Rupture.
Here's the thing, Rhapsody. Do you know what Blood for Blood is? Or Blood for Blood Plus is?
Yes, I do. It's 0 damage clash that you can play in any hand.
Yeah, it's a clash that you can play without having to dump skills, right? That's all it is. Our deck has so few skills in it, right? We have double tap and 3 defends. We're going to be removing one of those, well, and a ghostly armor. But I think you don't need Blood for Blood. I think it's a clash that is slightly less situational, but it doesn't start at 0 energy. And while, yes, we will get hit 2 or 3 times throughout a lot of combats, we might draw Blood for Blood on the first turn, and it's just a dead card. I would much rather have the 4 innate block from Metallicize here as a power that we play once it's out of our deck. Like, Blood for Blood is a great card. It's a really great card if you have, like, some offerings and things. And some Hemokinesis and maybe, like, a Bloodletting. But
it is worth noting, though, this deck is going to do that.
It is.
That's what this deck takes.
I know, but I think Metallicize is better. I don't see the situation where having a Blood for Blood in hand is going to be significantly better than just having our clashes in hand, right? And Metallicize is always going to be beneficial to us. We play it once for 1 energy, it's 4 block every turn, we don't have to play it again, it doesn't bloat our deck, it doesn't stop us from playing clashes. I think Metallicize is just better.
So, the thing is, in terms of, like, general archetype, I think if you have an aggressive build that heals itself, as soon as you start playing the defensive game, you lose. That's just how I've noticed typical Ironclad archetypes work. And this is Ironclad, not in Ascension. Anyone can easily point out that my Ascension record with the Ironclad is stellar.
Still stuck on 6 Rhapsody?
No, I'm up to 11.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit, that might not be live on the channel.
Spoilers!
I could live with the Metallicize, but let it be known to the audience, this would be me being overruled. Yeah, good. I'm overruling you. Haha, I have the power now. We're going to the shop, obviously. Oh, I know. I just want people to not be salty. Ooh, oh, come on. My dude, yes. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No.
There are so many good things here, Rhapsody. I think
there are, but there's one that's super obviously the best. No.
Bag of Marbles is pretty good. I'll give you Bag of Marbles is pretty good. I think we want Bag of Marbles. We don't have enough powers to make Birdface earn good. We're not going to be looking to pick up a lot of different skills.
Could you just hover over each of them while I explain?
Yeah, sure.
Bag of Marbles is at the start of each combat, apply 1 vulnerability to all enemies. They take 50% extra damage to all of your attacks. Toxic Egg is whenever you add a skill card to your deck, it is upgraded. It's not particularly synergistic with our deck because we don't want to add skills because we have a lot of clashes in there. And then Birdface Earn is whenever you play a power, heal 2 HP. We only have 1 power in our deck, and again, because of the clashes, we're not going to want to put that many more powers in our deck.
Yeah, and we have tons of self-healing already, so we don't need additional healing. I think
it is also worth noting, however, that Birdface Earn would benefit from Magic Flower and heal us for 3 every single play power.
Woo! So I think this is probably Bag of Marbles remove. Remove a basic defend, the one that's not upgraded.
Okay. Can I make an argument for something we do after that?
What?
Can you go back to the main screen so I can check if we have enough money for it? We don't. Damn. It would have been Bag of Marbles card remove thinking ahead.
Yeah, that would work really, really nicely in this deck. Thinking ahead would be really great. But I think you can't get past the card removal. We want to try and keep the deck as thin as possible. We're starting to get a few too many skills, and a basic defend just isn't worth. Bag of Marbles allows us to enable that first turn burst combo, which is ideal for us.
It also means that as soon as we get an offering in this deck, having an offering in the opening hand will just guarantee that 2 enemies are dead.
So
I don't want Combust. Why do you want Combust? Don't do it.
I don't want Combust. Although Combust is pretty good in this deck because we have so much self-healing. I'm actually thinking, I'm not sold on it yet, but go through the thought process with me. I'm thinking about a Thunderclap. Our deck has no AoE. Thunderclapping is just like having Bag of Marbles for 1 energy. It's an attack, so it doesn't disable our clashes. It allows our clashes to do significantly more damage to any target and any number of targets. It gives us a little bit of AoE damage, not a lot, but a little bit. And like a Thunderclap into a clash will kill most AoE trash.
You want to know the only reason that I agree with that? We have Double Tap. Double Tap makes Thunderclap so much insanely better.
Yeah, Although like if we have double tap plus, we can like double tap a thunderclap into a clash or a strike or something, which is good.
Oh, no, the reason that I say that about thunderclap and double tap is because 2 vulnerability is worth way more than 2 times 1 vulnerability.
Yeah, absolutely.
The difference is insane. Being able to have, because when you play Thunderclap, we're only going to have 2 extra energy open that turn to actually make advantage, or rather take advantage of the vulnerability that we've applied. However, when you apply 2, you get an entire extra turn afterwards to take full advantage of it. Yeah, I'll take a Thunderclap here. It's a good pick.
The only concern is, and I'm just going to check, our next shop, if we decide to go to a shop rather than Elite, is a long way off. So we're going to have plenty of opportunities to make the money back for additional card removals and things. So I think we do take a Thunderclap here.
Totally fine.
All right. And we want to go for the 3 Elite path, which is this guy, this guy, and potentially that guy, maybe the shop.
It's also worth noting that this path is a lot better because we now have the option to veer away at the very end if we don't think we can take the last elite. We're not on a death march directly to a 3rd elite.
Yeah, absolutely true. We get jaxed here, right, for 100 gold? Don't care about the HP loss. Strength gain is good.
We do, but I want to have a conversation with you about the value of Jack.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of the time, Jax is not good. It may just be my deck archetype is typically I defend everything and deal as little damage as possible and then just block everything and kill eventually. I rarely take Jax unless I am number 1 ironclad and number 2 have an aggressive deck.
See, I'm the opposite. I think Jax is way better in a lot of silent archetypes. Anything that uses shivs, dagger sprays, riddle with holes. There are a lot of things that you get multi-attacks. A
large amount of what I think the difference is there is you use the attacks of the silent to deal the damage. Whereas I use her attacks to deal damage using Thunderclap, 1,000 Cuts.
Yeah.
Or to deal damage using Envenom. Or just I block everything and Noxious Fumes through.
Yeah.
I think that's a playstyle difference. But yeah, get Jaxed here.
I think we get Jaxed.
We do need more card draw in this deck now, by the way. The single Battle Trance isn't going to hold it.
Yeah, hopefully we can trim it out. There's not a lot of cards we want to add to the deck at this point, so this is almost certainly Thunderclap. To reapply the vulnerable, right?
Yep, agreed.
We are likely going to want a Hemokinesis because it's big burst damage on the Mugger. And then, so I'm going to do those 2. Then we need to think about this last energy. We could defend for 8, or we could defend, Metallicize is going to defend for more than 8, because this combat is likely going to last at least 2 turns. Well, depends on what
it will defend for at least 8, because the frontliner, the backliner we're going to kill next turn, right? Yeah. Invariably, it's going to happen. The frontliner might, however, attack for 3 turns, or by base, always at the very least attacks for 2 turns. So we're at the very least going to block 8, but it has the potential to block more.
I think we have a serious potential with double tap, clash, strike, Jax, all available to just kill them both next turn. I think defend is better here.
Double strike, clash, double tap, clash. We've got 9 cards left in the deck. Double tap isn't guaranteed. In fact, it's only slightly more than 50%.
Yeah, but even like one clash is 27 damage on this guy. So like clash strike kills him. Clash on the back guy kills that. Like there's I'm gonna play Metallicize. I think we could kill them next turn. I don't think it's super likely. I think it's unlikely enough that. So this is Jax, Bash, Strike, Clash.
Well, let's calculate the damage first. Yeah, you have to play Jax because you're not getting away without playing Bash, so Jax first. Bash on the backline is a kill. and then Clash Strike
There's a kill.
is...
So yeah, defend was the better option, but we lost 4 HP for it, and then I think it, like, in the long run, just didn't matter. Clothesline v True Grip v Dropkick. We do have a lot of vulnerable in the deck. We don't have anything that synergizes with multiple attacks.
It's also worth noting, though, we have Bag of Marbles. So if we draw Dropkick on turn 1, we are not sad. And then on top of that, we have Double Tap. When you double tap a Dropkick, you're drawing 2 cards and getting 2 energy. Which is refilling your hand of 2 cards you've expended. Exactly, it's totally free, and it gives you the 2 energy. I think it's Dropkick.
Okay. I can be convinced for a Dropkick. I think we want to try and avoid bloating this deck much further than we have, though.
I don't think that bloats the deck, because I think upwards of 90% of the time it's going to be able to apply itself. You should have used Jax first there, because you would have drawn 3. And we were always going to use Jax this turn.
Oh, right, because of Centennial Puzzle. Yeah, that was my bad. So we're definitely going to be Thunderclapping, we're definitely going to be Dropkicking.
Also should have Dropkicked first, because now we can't draw Dropkick, because the can't draw any more cards. So Battle Trance fucked over the Dropkick as well.
I'd rather have the Ghostly Armor in the deck if I'm going to draw another.
Mm-hmm.
So Strike kills 1.
Mm-hmm.
Defend Metallicize blocks all damage.
Yeah. And we know we've got another Clash in the deck, so...
Yeah, it's coming next turn. We got Double Tap as well.
Unfortunately, they're not weakened anymore. The double tapping the Clash is 28 damage, and then I mean, if we uppercut first, then it just guarantees lethal on a single target, but we take 5 damage.
That's what you want to do.
Well, yeah, but like in that case, it was not different whether or not you double tap the uppercut or the Clash.
Yeah, either way works. So this is Ghostly Armor Defend, Hemokinesis Clash for 36.
Nope. Nope. Just Clash Strike, because we're going to have lethal next hand. We don't need to lose the extra 2 HP.
Is it going to matter? No.
It's not going to matter, but it's technically the better play.
Alright, Warcry v Pommel Strike v Rage.
What do you think about Rage? I'm not making an argument for it right now. I'm just asking. What do you think about Rage?
I like the card design. I find it very difficult to pull off.
Yep.
Like, it wants to fit into an Anger deck, I think. But Anger is such an unusual card, and you'd have to build around it right from the start, and you can't guarantee that it's going to happen. And I don't think it's strong enough for what it does. In most decks,
I agree.
It's gain 8 block for 1, which is the same as an upgraded defend.
I agree. I would say that if Rage was redesigned to be whenever you play an attack this turn, gain 3 block, draw a card, it would be ridiculous, and it would define a deck archetype by itself. But without that, since it does not replace itself as a card, I can't really afford to put it in any deck.
Yeah, I think this is just a skip. Agreed?
It could be. It also could be Warcry, because Warcry does not have a negative effect on our deck.
Yeah, I suppose Warcry is just a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I can get behind that. You don't want more than 1 copy of Warcry in the deck, though.
If I've got my first copy of Warcry upgraded, I'll take a sec.
Okay.
Jax. Beautiful.
Okay, so this is probably...
Has to be Thunderclap Defend.
Yeah.
Like, those are the non-negotiables, because we need to get that Clash out.
So Body Slam is 10 damage versus Strike's 8, so we're definitely Body Slam.
Body Slam is 15.
We can just kill the bad
No, let's... Okay, it's 15 plus the Clash is 24. So yeah, we've got the lethal. Good. Let's kill the backlash. It's just worth checking, because you don't... Like, a lot of the time, I mean, I have to imagine that you feel this as well. A lot of the time, you can't afford the time to actually just fucking count. So instead, you just ballpark the figures and you go, yeah, that looks like or feels like it's going to be lethal, just based on your experience. And then one time, you're 1 HP short on a kill, and it's super dramatic, and you're like, fuck, great, I screwed up, and now I'm going to be accused of being the world's worst mathematician.
So we can kill one of them with an uppercut hemokinesis?
We can, but there's no reason not to battle trance, so let's do that first.
Yeah. Double tap Hemo gets the kill as well, and then we can Ghostly Armor all the damage.
Bingo. All about that life.
Which does mean we take 4 damage, but...
In fact, if we can engineer this to take 8 more damage, it would be really good.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky against this guy.
I mean, we do have to let him pretty much attack us. Oh, no, don't kill him. It is so much more that we will heal from having meat on the bone active.
Alright, we'll try and engineer this.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to hit us twice more, yep. We'll Thunderclap to reapply the vulnerable. Sure.
I can get behind that. We can't do Uppercut because we'd weaken him and then he would only be applying like 1 damage each turn.
Yep. So this is the turn where he drops us below. And then we just kill him next turn.
Cool. So by losing 9 HP there, we've guaranteed gain 80. So there's 9 positive as a result of meat on the bone only being active when we're below 50 or at or below 50%.
So we didn't get the kill, but we did block all the damage, so...
Yeah. This guy does so little damage that it really doesn't matter.
The Juzu Bracelet makes it that we don't encounter regular combat in question mark rooms.
Do you know the mechanics for encountering regular enemy combat in question?
I think there's like a 20% chance or something to encounter a combat in a question mark room. Somewhere between 20 and 30%, I believe it is. I don't know the exact number.
So it's a pseudo-random number because it starts at 10 and then it increases by 10 every single time you don't get a combat.
Oh, is that how it works? I was just working off anecdotal evidence based on... We don't want another ancient potion. We've got one.
Yeah.
Intimidate v Twin Strike v Havoc Plus.
Alright, give me your thoughts on this.
So... Havoc adds an additional skill to our deck, but it does cost 0, so it's very easy to play out. However, there are a lot of cards that we would not like to see exhausted.
True.
Drop kick,
However,
double
we
tap,
do
clash,
have
clash,
via
uppercut, hemokinesis.
It is worth noting, we do have Warcry, so we can tutor something to the top of our deck. And also, if we do see a headbutt, we're quite likely to take that as well to tutor a different thing from our discard pile to the top of our deck.
The main issue with Havoc is that it works best when you have high-cost cards you want to play for 0, right? Like Demon Form, Barricade, that kind of thing, Bludgeon.
I'll add to that, or when you want to exhaust a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think we want to exhaust a bunch of stuff because we have a lot of high-value cards. There's some things we want to remove, but there's not a lot we want to remove. We've gotten rid of most of the basic cards. And we don't have any of those high-cost cards, so I don't think Havoc's correct. Twin Strike is a lot of damage. It's a lot more damage as well with Jax.
Yeah, it's 9 twice, which then raises itself as 18, 9, 3, 10, is 27 for 1 after we have Jax active. God, it's so boring as a card.
I know.
Like, I'm tired looking at it. I just want to go to sleep. And no Intimidate. I mean, if we need to apply weakness to all enemies, we're not killing them. It's taking a space where we could have the offense to just kill one of them and then uppercut the rest. So I could see you saying that we should go for the Twin Strike, but I don't think we need any extra cards in this deck right now. I think it's going to be, like, a card being good isn't enough to put it in this deck right now.
So here's the argument. Double tap Twin Strike is insane. We still have some basic strikes we want to remove. We want to keep this deck definitely down under 20 cards, and we're going to be removing these strikes. And probably
Okay,
body
but
slam.
double tap Clash is insane. Double tap Hemokinesis is insane. Double tap Dropkick is insane. And by taking double tap Twin Strike, you're decreasing the chance of getting any of the rest of those.
I would prefer to double tap Twin Strike over double tap Dropkick.
I would never. What is that? Draw 2 cards, get 2 energy.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like Twin Strike, and I think that if you get any more strength gain in the deck, Twin Strike becomes way more powerful, right? Like, it just... Twin Strike's one of those cards that scales so much better than something like Clash.
Would we take any extra strength gain in the deck? What form of strength... sorry, I'll amend that. What form would the strength gain have to be for us to take it?
I think a Flex would fit into this deck.
Yep.
Which would take this from... With Jackson Flex active, would end up being like 13 damage twice, which is insane.
Sure, except for the fact that in order to have that active, we need to add a Flex and a Twin Strike to the deck, and we don't have enough draw to support all of that right.
Yeah,
We're still relying on just one unupgraded Battle Trance. And obviously, HP loss plus the Centennial Puzzle for the first time. If we had an offering, I'd be way more into this, but we don't.
I think you've talked me out of it. I think if we'd seen another offering... Oh, sorry, if we'd seen an offering, if we'd seen a second Battle Trance, I think the deck's big enough to support a second Battle Trance. If we had Inflame or Flex in the deck, I think you could justify it, but I agree. You've talked me out of it. I'll take the skip there.
Awesome.
Card draw. For the card draw. Battle Trance
the card
for
draw.
the card draw. We have...
okay, we've got a double tap, a Ghostly Armor, and a Defend, so we could double tap Clash. Clash is 18, so 20, sorry, at the moment, so it goes to 30, so we could actually just nuke the Cultist out of existence.
That seems to be the best play for me.
After that, I have a proposal before you end the turn.
Okay.
Kill the Cultist first, though. Ancient Potion, prevent the Hex.
We don't have a lot of skills in the deck, but we also don't want Daze in our deck.
Exactly, because then we won't be able to play the Clashes. And they don't go into your discard pile. Importantly, they go into your deck.
Defend
throw the
on
strike
top?
back, play everything.
You
What?
think?
No, throw the strike back, play everything. Yeah.
And take 0?
Yeah.
Alright, I can get behind that. Alright, so we did get... so rather than Thunderclap, we uppercut here. We uppercut Dropkick. No, we uppercut Clash Dropkick.
Yes, just in case you draw a skill, you're right.
Didn't end up
And then
drawing
we
a
should
skill.
just be able to strike, yeah.
Okay. Anger v Power Through
Headbutt.
v Headbutt.
Headbutt.
Is there anything
So Headbutt
that
mitigates...
high? I mean, putting Battle Trance back
Battle
on top.
Trance. Battle Trance and Double Tap are singularly so important to put back on top of the deck. Also, if you double tap a Dropkick and a Headbutt at the same time with a double tap plus, you can set up your next turn to be incredible as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's more important that we are able to tutor back to the top of the deck the 2 draw cards that we have in our deck.
Yeah, I agree with
Or
that.
rather, I'm effectively calling double tap a draw card because it is playing extra copies of other cards.
So double tap is the first target of the upgrade here, yes?
100%, yes.
Very good. Just making sure. I don't want to take control away from you completely, Rhapsody. I would like you to have some input in the decisions. I don't want to overrule you at all points. So Blood Vial.
Oh, cool! At the start of each combat, we will heal 2 HP, which is actually going to be courtesy of flowering the healing effectiveness during battle by 50%.
And also it gives us the option to get the Vampire event, although we probably wouldn't want it unless we found Molten Egg.
Double tap with the bites is still ridiculous, though. Oh, fuck yes. Yeah, you've got this. You've got this. Let's go. Let's go.
It's a pretty good first turn, right?
We could prevent 15 with the Fire Potion.
I think that's probably correct, right?
Yep.
Means we're leaving this combat with full HP. Rampage is a great card, Rhapsody. I will give you Rampage is a great card, but this is a 20-card deck already.
I know. That's why I'm so sad. It turns up now. We do have double tap and we do have headbutt, which is the basis of a Rampage deck, but the deck is too thick to make Rampage better than just playing other attacks in their place. I'm so sad about it, but you're right. This is not a Rampage deck.
This is not a Rampage deck. So I've done some math recently, and everybody knows how good I am at math. Sword Boomerang.
By the way, the comments want me to tell you that cubing something and then squaring it is the same as squaring something and then cubing it due to the indices.
I was tired, Rhapsody, and the math that I was trying to remember was adding poison and then squaring or cubing it versus squaring or cubing it and then adding it. That's where my brain was stuck. You know how sometimes you get stuck on an idea?
I know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. I got my own share of very polite criticism in that comment section. So what did you do about the math on Sword Boomerang?
So this is 1 energy, strike 3 times for 3 damage, right? Well, upgraded it's 3 damage 4 times, so you get 4 strikes. This is actually better than Heavy Strike in almost every situation. When it's not upgraded, it gets 3 times the strength value, starts at 9 damage, which is less than Heavy Strike is, but it only costs 1 energy. When it's upgraded, it's 4 times, which is slightly less than a Heavy Strike is, but once again, you get to play it twice for the same amount of energy, so it's 8 times your strength value.
So, I do get where you're coming from here, and I've actually seen the same argument. There've been a couple of friendly mathematicians in comment sections before explaining why Sword Boomerang might be a good pick in some circumstances and not in other circumstances. The reason that I tend to ignore it in builds that do put a lot of strength behind themselves is not being able to choose your targets. On the 3rd floor, especially when you're fighting shapes with spines and with explosive talents on them, it can fuck you to death.
Yeah, so Sword Boomerang is amazing into bosses and elites, but less good against trash. This is not the deck for it, I just wanted to point it out.
Yep.
And we're at full HP heading into this elite fight, so that's good. Battle Trance.
Chance time.
Metallicized Ghostly Armor defends. Slap one of these guys.
It's worth noting that we will be fully protected against them, but you do need to kill one of them. Otherwise, you guarantee next turn that the Gremlin leader will be doing a triple attack.
Yeah, and we don't want to be getting hit by the triple attack. So I think this is Metallicized defend Ghostly Armor. Then we clash one of these little fellas.
Yep. I want everyone to know we're not clashing the little fellas just to prevent ourselves from getting weakened, because we're not going to be weakened. It's to try and prevent what just happened. Damn, the 9x3. Yeah, but Ginger, you can no longer become weakened. Thank you for hovering over that. Jack's first, double tap, drop kick. Well, hopefully we get a double tap, thunderclap, drop kick.
Yeah, that's pretty much a no-brainer.
You can't drop kick the frontliner, otherwise it won't trigger twice and we won't draw the 2 cards.
Yeah, and we will have the 1 energy to strike him to get rid of him if we want to. So I think
we have 2 energy.
Yeah, but I think we need to play the defend so we can get the clash out on the back guy.
100%.
Yeah, so we defend, strike you to remove you, clash you for 30 damage, and we're going to take a big hit here.
Yeah, it's not that much.
15 isn't tiny. It's pretty solid. It doesn't matter what we put on top of the deck because we're going to draw it with drop kick, right?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, but this turn guarantees that we probably lose Ghostly Armor.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Which I think we're fine with because, yeah, because this guy is just going to die pretty much a turn after this. No, we definitely strike.
But my
He's like
Ghostly
a
Armor.
clash and a I know. He's like a clash and a reasonable hit away from death right now.
Alright, so we have the body, we have to battle trance.
Consider, no. Consider the headbutt. See if there's anything in our discard pile we want to put back. Because dropkick works. Although it will only give us extra energy, not an extra card.
But the extra
so we
energy,
don't have to worry about the fact.
Yeah, the extra energy might be super valuable to play out a skill though, so.
Yeah. And we won't draw another skill. Hey, beautiful. He's dead.
Retreat! Run away! Ah! Happy Flower is an excellent relic for us.
We are doing what we do best. Hiding. Happy Flower is ridiculous.
Yeah, every 3 turns we gain an additional energy. It's just a really solid relic. Fits into every deck. Alright, Rhapsody.
Alright.
Hit me.
Yeah. I really want the bloodletting, but we don't have the card draw to that. I think we take the flex. I'm so fucking sad about it though.
I hate myself for saying this. I think we skip. You're right about bloodletting. We don't have the card draw to support 2 additional energy. I think losing 3 HP for 2 energy is oftentimes just going to be a dead card in our hand.
Pull up the deck.
Pardon?
Could you pull up the deck, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're right, and I hate it.
I don't think we have enough... I don't think we often play enough attacks for flex to be valuable enough. And we don't have like a whirlwind or anything with a multi-attack to justify gaining that additional strength. Hemokinesis basic is just bloat. We already have a Hemokinesis, we don't need it. And bloodletting we don't have the draw for. This is just a skip.
Yep.
Which is sad.
That hurt me. That hurt me in bits that I didn't know I had. 1000% has to be the gain max HP for losing 20.
We can't get cursed. We have to take the max HP. We don't have a choice.
But also, max HP is amazing for us.
It is. It is. I don't like losing a bunch of HP before an elite fight, because I assume we're going the elite. 165 is not worth hitting a shot. Ooh.
Woohoo! It's time to remove Body Slam.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing else that needs removal more than Body Slam. We never play it, it's always a dead card.
Next to the 2 strikes, I believe.
Yeah, or 3. I think we've got 3 strikes. So this is Jax to the draw. Battle Trance to the draw. Double tap, Thunderclap.
We can metallicize, double tap the Thunderclap, and then Clash.
We can! I didn't realize we had so few skills in our hand. Metallicize, double tap the Thunderclap, and then Clash removes back bro.
Just because it's the greatest amount of damage incoming. The front line's going to try and weaken us with this Rake effect, but it won't work. Again, Ginger, and we're going to start getting wounds in the deck, but it's not going to be too big a problem.
So we drop kick first, because Warcry is going to put something on top of the deck. Then we Warcry, and we probably put a basic Defend on top.
Yep.
Now, if we play Defend, we can uppercut back guy, Clash front guy.
Yep.
Take
You're
0 damage.
That's it.
We actually want to get hit here, though. Right now, we are slightly above. So I'm just going to strike him once to get him into kill range. Take the 5.
We're going to have to get hit twice because he's weakened, though. We're not going to take 5 because of Metallicize.
Metallicize. Why do you have to be so good at defending us?
We need to be on 42. Thankfully, since the weaken wears off this turn, we only have Ock. This is going to be putting us on 42, so just pass. Actually, yeah, I was about to say, have a look at the deck, see if there's trash in there, if there is, use the Battle Trance. Good. Let's pass. Awesome. And just... Yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay, wait.
I'm going to pick the card first. Don't worry, I'm not Rhapsody.
No. Hey, we've commiserated over the fact that we both make that mistake. TYVM.
So...
No, not armaments. No.
I think you can make an argument.
Deck's so thin and all deck's so thin, and we're going to be upgrading the important cards because we do nothing else at camps. I don't think we need the armaments. I think it's another skill in the deck that will prevent the clashes from being played.
Okay. Alright, I can get behind that. So then, what are we bottled lightning? Double tap? Battle Trance?
Double tap. double tap because on the first turn we're guaranteed that everyone the bag of marbles. So double tapping pretty much anything in our first hand is going to kill a target. Imagine we get into the double orb walker fight. We will blow one of them up before anything happens.
Yeah, okay. I can get behind that. And an explosive potion. All right. Final campfire. Don't need a rest, so we're smithing something. There's a few choices here.
I think you could make the argument for either the Clash or the Jax. I think everything else is a weak choice.
I'm kind of tempted to hit Battle Trance.
Battle Trance, yeah. I saw you hovering over it last time at the last camp, and I was about to agree, but we're about to go into a prolonged fight. So I think the Jax is going to be way more consistently important. And the Clash does increase by 14, but since we have vulnerability on enemies almost all the time, it's actually increasing by... it's increasing by from 14 to 18, so it increases by 4. But it typically increases by 6, and it's almost always playable. Yeah, I think
I don't think this is right.
Jax or Battle Trance.
Yeah, I don't think Jax is right, because plus 1 strength is 1 damage on each attack. A lot of our attacks hit very hard. We're going to be bursting this guy hard to bring him down. We don't play a lot of low cost damage attacks.
Who's the boss this floor?
It is... Automaton, right?
Yeah, that's the Automaton. So he has 3 charges of artifacting immediately available on him. That's unfortunate. At the very least, a double tap uppercut is going to completely remove all of those, but still. Yeah, I can see the Battle Trance, try and use it to mitigate the fact that we don't have enough draw in the deck. I still think that we need to pick up more draw, though.
Yeah, I think a second copy of Battle Trance or an Offering is what we're really looking for.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of double tap the uppercut in order to prevent all of the remove all of his artifacting, rather.
Yep. So I'm gonna Battle Trance. I'm gonna stick the. Wait, do we want a basic strike next turn, or do we want to defend? Because we're definitely.
So he's gonna be summoning 2 friends, and those are gonna try and steal our most valuable cards. So we're gonna want offense in the next turn. Typically, the center line will do 7 by 2 next turn, and then both of the other ones will try and steal. It is a little bit variable, but that's typically what ends up happening. So
the thing is that a basic strike is so weak, though. Like,
oh yeah. I think the upgraded defend could easily be argued for.
I think I'm going to put the defend on top. We don't have a lot of defensive options in the deck, and I think mitigating a little bit of the damage early on in the fight is going to be important because we're likely to take a Hyper Beam hit. And then that allows us to double tap out the strike this turn. Which is an extra 18 damage. Which isn't anything to sneeze at, but...
So it's worth noting he actually did take the full effect of the second artifacting, and that's because I forgot that 1 artifacting was already removed from the bag of marbles applying vulnerability at the start of the fight.
Yep.
Is there anything we want to headbutt to the top of our deck before we Battle Trance?
Double tap, maybe?
I would argue yes. Because we've got the Thunderclap still in the deck. We've got the... we've got Clashes still in the deck, obviously.
Yeah, no, I think
I
think we do that. Do we want to burst down these little guys first, or do we want to just burst him down? Because...
No, you have to kill the ads in this fight.
No, you don't have to.
Okay, if you have like a lot of strength gain, you don't.
So this is double tap drop kick for the 2 energy, right?
Which has to be on the mid line, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is fine.
We did not get good draw there.
And then we metallicize defend, so we take no damage this turn.
Yeah. Sucks though. It's not good.
We probably throw out an explosive potion next turn. We lost a Hemokinesis Plus, and we lost a Ghostly Armor. It's not too bad.
We don't need to liberate that Ghostly Armor for all.
Alright, so we Thunderclap.
Yep.
We're going to drop kick.
That clash is 30 damage, so if you drop kick the front line, that's... Yeah, that clash. If you drop kick the front line, then the clash will kill it.
The front line has the Ghostly Armor. The back guy has the Hemokinesis. We would prefer to have the Hemokinesis this turn, because we have the energy to play it. I think
it's true, but try and calculate exactly the fewest amount of hits that you have to do in order to kill that.
24,
so you've got 24 and 30, that's 54. You're over by 6. That's pretty low to be over.
10, 40, that's 52.
52.
Saves the clash for this guy. I think
Sure.
that's correct.
Clash should have been first.
Yes, it
Just
should
in
have.
case you drew.
Oh, you know what we do have? We do have an explosive potion. So if I just heavy clash this guy, we get an explosive pot.
Mm-hmm. Yep, okay.
And then...
Hemokinesis is 27.
It's 30.
30, right, stop, sorry, I forgot about the jacks. Yeah.
So we can just kill him with Hemokinesis, gives us our ghostly armor back.
Should have used our clash first.
I'm an idiot! But that's okay, we can ghostly. It means we miss out on a strike worth of damage. Which in the long run probably isn't going to matter.
Almost certainly not. So this guy is going to use a self-buffing turn before he does the giant hit that we need to be afraid of.
Yeah.
Um,
Battle trance, defend... means we waste.
I don't think we battle trance first. I think we double tap the headbutt in order to put 2 different cards back on top of the deck and then do a turn from there.
Okay. And we probably want to put Clash double tap?
I want to put the uppercut in there because this guy is going to do 20 damage this turn. The uppercut is going to prevent 5, and it'll have the weakness applied for 4 turns because it's already got the double tap on it as well. Sure, we don't get to put 2 cards to the top of our deck here, and we're only planning on using the uppercut, but this will guarantee that by the time he gets to his Hyper Beam turn, he's already weak. Because it's going to be this, the buff turn, then the Hyper Beam, then the stun. So this is going to guarantee 2 turns of weakness that are important.
The other option is, stick with me here, Thunderclap Dropkick. If we put Thunderclap Dropkick on top of the deck, we get to play a double tapped Thunderclap to give him 2 vulnerable, and then we get to Dropkick, which gives us the extra energy back, so that we can play out the rest of our hand.
It doesn't apply any weakness though, and then we're relying on drawing uppercut in time for the big hit. I think we end up with 4 vulnerability by doing the same thing with the uppercut. Yeah, it's a little less damage, but it applies the weakness.
Alright, so we want to put uppercut on top.
And then anything you don't want. Because it just doesn't get played, so. Don't put ghostly armor unless you want to burn it. But...
yeah, I didn't. I put clash on top.
Cool.
Right, so battle trance. We uppercut. With the double tap. Prevents a bunch of damage. We block 4.
It actually prevents 6 damage because of the way the game rounds, but still. Then this is his self-buff turn, which means next turn is Hyper Beam.
Yeah, so we just slap him with everything here. This is...
extremely slap, yes.
This is...
nothing but slap.
The easiest
24/7 hits. It's like we're Rage, the channel, because we're 24/7. Alright, hang on. Double tap drop kick to start off. Was Rage ever broadcast outside of Australia? I think that was just a purely Australian thing, right?
So we already have double tap, so uppercut just kills him, and we don't take the Hyper Beam.
Beautiful.
Alright, ready? Feed v Immolate v Reaper.
This isn't as straightforward as it should be. I think it's feed, but I want to have a think about the idea of Reaper, because Reaper will heal us for 1.5 times what it says on the tin, but also we've got Jax, so it's 6 damage to all enemies, and it'll heal us for add 9 for every enemy hit. I don't think it's going to be necessary, but an argument could be made for it. It's worth noting that Feed, especially when upgraded, is also going to be 6 healing, because it does increase your max HP, but it also heals you to the tune of the amount that it increases your max HP, and that does get affected by the Magic Flower.
Yeah, Feed is a great card. It's super late in the game to be getting Feed, though.
It is super late, but if we're taking something with concern for healing, and we want to be able to maintain the damage theme of our deck, Feed does both of those.
It does.
Reaper is, like, I think if we had an extra energy, then I would be much more enthused about taking Reaper. But we don't. We have the base 3 energy, and we can't rely on getting an energy relic after this.
We are reasonably likely to get an energy relic after this, because we've already seen 3 of the energy relics.
Right, but sure, but what if it's Mark of Pain?
Yeah, then I'd be filled with
We can't
sadness.
take that. We've got clashes, right? Like, what if it's Philosopher's Stone? There's a couple of enemies next floor that double hit, and we really don't have an amazing amount of defense. We probably wouldn't exactly want Philo Stone, although push comes to shove, we might take it.
So here's my logic. This big shiny button down here.
Can I try and give you one more sales?
Yeah, okay. You're more than welcome to. Doesn't mean I'm going to listen.
And it's Immolate.
Immolate is interesting because it allows us to get things like wounds and dazed out of the deck. But
which I think is important because the third floor, the Beyond, I think it's called the Beyond, has way more enemies that put put dazed and burns in your deck.
It is also some AoE damage. I am a fan of Immolate. A lot of people aren't.
Yeah, I had a discussion on the Slay the Spire Discord about Immolate, and everyone was bagging on it.
Yeah, I showed you the power of Immolate in our first ever How to Beat run.
Okay, yeah, you showed me the power of Immolate in a wound deck. I just typically don't run wound decks. I've run enough Immolate curse decks in my life that I have so much respect for Immolate.
The question is, Immolate brings us up to 20 cards. We have...
If we ever cast it, it is neutral. It's worth noting. It will lower the size of our deck. So prolonged fights, in fact, it thins our deck.
I'll take it. I think...
Awesome.
I think that it's touch and go, and there'll be times where we're sad we've drawn it, but I think there'll also be times where we're super glad that we drew it. So Runic Pyramid versus buffed Tiny House versus Snecko Eye.
So we'll just go through them manually. The Runic Pyramid, at the end of your turn, you guard your hand, draw 1 cards each turn. That is a really poor use of grammar there. The Tiny House has been buffed recently, and also gives you upgrading a random card in addition to what it used to have, which is obtaining a potion, gain 30 gold, raise your max HP by 5, obtain 1 card. And Snecko Eye gives you the confused effect, which means that every single time you draw a card, it is randomized cost between 0 and 3, and you draw 2 additional cards every turn. So if you don't have enough 3 and 2 cost cards in your deck, Snecko Eye is bad.
Yeah, this is out. We're not taking Snecko Eye. This is a Clash deck. There's no way we're taking Snecko Eye. So it comes down to Runic Pyramid versus Tiny House.
Yeah.
Runic Pyramid is interesting because we do have a couple of sources of card draw refill. We've got Centennial Puzzle. We've got Battle Trance. And on turns where we do find ourselves where we can't play clashes, they stick around in our hands so that we can on the following turn. But I think Runic Pyramid could potentially work, although we really would like to see some more draw. Tiny House has never been a favorite of mine, but it might be the right pick in this deck by default, just because +5 max HP, upgrade one of our myriad good cards potentially, and get like a little gold and a potion. We don't have Sozu, so we're not getting any penalty. Like, we don't have Sozu, we don't have Ectoplasm, so we don't lose any of the bonuses from Tiny House. Often I will, because I'll have like Sozu or Ectoplasm or something. What do you think,
So,
Raps?
I agree with the general way in which you've laid these things out. I think that the only reason that we're not looking at Runic Pyramid and going, yes, immediately, is courtesy of the fact that our opening hand, due to Bag of Marbles, is so important, and it will lower that to 4. If we had Bag of Preparation as well, so our opening hand was going to be 6, and then we can move from there, or if we could guarantee that we had an offering in an opening hand, or if we could guarantee that we had an HP lost card in our opening hand so that the Centennial Puzzle would draw us 3 extra, then Runic Pyramid would be way better, but we cannot afford to mill around and do nothing on our first turn. I think Tiny House is...
I know, I'm so sad, but Tiny House it is. And we got a Clash
At the very
upgrade.
least, the max... Ooh, nice. At the very least, the max HP is pretty good.
Yeah, and the Clash upgrade is sweet.
I want it. I really do.
Is 3 too much, though? I don't think it is. The deck's gotten a little larger.
Okay, hang on. I don't want it anymore.
Why?
Because I've just thought about the fact that we do have the burns and the days in the next hand. Consider we go up against Donu and Decker. This is obviously
it's
not
a lot of days.
Going to happen. But if we have Donu and Decker on the boss on the 3rd floor, our clashes will not be played. No matter how many times we double tap our Annihilate, those clashes are dead cards. Having a 3rd dead card in a deck of 20 cards?
You are basing that argument on a 1 in 3 roll on the boss fight. And yes, the game
but it's also worth noting that it's true, but it's also worth noting that the Nemesis puts 3 burns in your deck at a time. The Orb Walkers put 2 burns in your deck, 1 in your deck, 1 in your discard pile. There are a lot of enemies on the next floor who are going to fuck with our deck.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. However, first turn shenanigans is still a thing, and drawing an extra clash on the first turn, especially when we have double tap, is huge. Getting an extra chance of drawing that clash on the first turn is huge. I think you're right.
This is why I immediately wanted the snap pick on it, but I could go either way.
I'm going clash. I think our deck is large enough to justify 3. And it is Donu and Decker.
Let's fuck off. Fuck off.
Oh, dear.
Good lord. It's like the game knows and chooses the thing that will counter you. For the moment, because we need some time to calm down. We're going to take a little break between now and the next episode. It is uploaded typically an hour after the first episode, or the episode that you're currently watching. You'll see it. It'll be there. My name has been Rhapsody. His name has been Lollash. Hopefully next time.
And Rhapsody's intro just totally cut out. So thanks for watching, guys. All of the things you need to read are down in the description. We'll see you next time.
Damn it, Discord!